Welcome students. Today I am going to start a new chapter called Chemical Kinetics. Chemical kinetics is the branch of chemistry that deals with the rates or velocity at which a chemical reaction occurs and also the factors affecting the rates. The word kinetic means the movement or change. Here it refers to the velocity of a reaction, which is the change in the concentration of a reactant or a product with time. Kinetic investigation of a reaction is usually carried out with two main objectives in our mind. Number one, analysis of the sequence of elementary reactions leading to the overall reaction. That is, to arrive at the possible reaction mechanism. And second one, determination of absolute rate of the reaction. So obviously one question in our mind that kinetics, how fast does a reaction proceed? And in case of thermodynamics, does a reaction take place? Now in that case, initially we need to remember some important factors which affect rates of reactions. Number one, reactant concentration. Number two, temperature of the reaction. Number three, action of catalyst. It means whenever we are going to add any type of catalyst, it may increase the rate of the reaction or decrease the rate of the reaction. Surface area. Obviously we know that a solid reactant which is totally dusted or in their powder form, then their surface area becomes maximum and rate of the reaction obviously become faster. And the last point, pressure of gases, reactants or products. Now what is kinetics? Studies the rate at which a chemical process occurs. Besides information about the speed at which reactions occur, kinetics also sheds light on the reaction mechanism, exactly how the reaction occurs. Now, outline of kinetics. Reaction rates, how we measure rates, how the rate depends on amounts of reactants, how to calculate amount left or time to reach a given amount, how long it takes to react 50% of reactant. By choosing this question, we can easily finding out the half-life time period of a reaction mechanism. Next one, how rate constant changes with temperature. And finally, link between rate and molecular scale process. This is the actual mechanism by which we can finding out, yes, the reaction rate either zero order or first order or second order, like this. Now, reaction rates. Rates of our reactions can be determined by monitoring the change in concentration of either reactants or products as a function of time t. See here three pictures I have already attached. At 0 second, 1 mole of A present and 0 mole of B present. When reaction started, then finally after 40 seconds, the amount of mole of B becomes 0.7% and amount of A that equal to 30%. Here concentration of reactant A we need to calculate. Now we come in the section of reaction rate. For a reaction which convert A into B, there are two ways of measuring rates. The speed at which the reactants disappear, the speed at which the products appear. Again I am repeating, the speed at which the reactants disappear and the speed at which the products appear. Reversible reactions, as products accumulates, they can begin to turn back into reactants. early on the rate will depend on only the amount of reactants present. We want to measure the reactants as soon as they are mixed. A general way of measuring the rate of the reaction is in terms of change in concentration per unit time. It means rate of a reaction is in the terms of change in concentration per unit time. Here, this is the general expression of instantaneous rate, the change in concentration of A with respect to entire time, or a small change in concentration of A with respect to very infinitesimal amount small of time. Here, unit of rate equal to mole per liter. Now, chemical kinetics. Reaction rate is the change in the concentration of a reactant or a product with time. Remember one thing, that as the reaction proceeds, the concentration of reactant molecules start to decrease and concentration of product molecules start to increase. Due to that reason, whenever we are going to express rate in terms of concentration with respect to change in time for a reactant, we imply a negative sign, but in case of product we imply a positive sign. See, conversion of A into B, where rate equal to minus delta A by delta T, where delta A equal to change in concentration of A. Here we considered A as a reactant over time period delta T, and with respect to B, delta B equal to change in concentration of B over time period delta T. Here we introduce a minus sign because concentration of A decreases with respect to time. Due to that reason, change in overall concentration of A is negative. Now, to generalize for the reaction, here we consider the stoichiometric value of both reactant and product. In that case, the rate of a reaction can be expressed the reciprocal of the stoichiometric value, which is multiplied with change in concentration of both reactant or product with respect to time respectively. So here A and B, both of them are reactant molecule. Due to that reason, in that case we express rate equal to minus 1 by A delta A by delta T, that equal to minus 1 by B delta B by delta T. Here again I am explaining you that reactant concentration with respect to time decreases. Due to that reason we added here a negative sign, but in case of the product molecule C and D, their concentration level increases. Due to that reason, the product of any type of reaction, whenever we are going to calculate the rate of reaction with respect to time and the change of their concentration with respect to time, it should be a positive. It means number of product molecules increases. Here is another way of looking at reaction rate. Nitrogen pentoxide converted into nitrogen oxide gas and oxygen. Notice that for every 1 mole of oxygen that appears, 4 into X as many moles of NO2 will also appear. In the meantime, twice as many moles of N2O5 will be disappearing as moles of oxygen forming. However, the same reaction cannot have 3 different rates. Instead, we write the rate of the reaction as follows, that minus of change in concentration of nitrogen pentoxide with respect to time, that equal to 1 by 4 change in concentration of nitrogen dioxide with respect to time, that equal to change in concentration of oxygen with respect to time, that is rate of change in concentration divided by respective stoichiometric coefficient. Here I show a equation with respect to a graph that you can see that bromine while react with formic acid, it produces 2 Br minus in its aqueous phase. Water, it means this is a positive formation of acid and carbon dioxide gas. Initially, the quantity of Br2 becomes high, but with respect to time, if we proceed x-axis, then the slope slowly start to deviate. It means in that case, whenever we are going to calculate the average rate for consideration, that change in concentration of bromine with respect to time, it should be negative. And instantaneous rate means rate for specific instance in time. It means see from the tabular, from that 0 second, 50 second, 100 second, the molarity or the concentration of Br2 decreases. Now from here we can easily conclude the value of change in concentration of Br2 with respect to overall change in time. Now this is another rate of reaction between molecular bromine and formic acid at 25 degree centigrade and different time second interval. We have disclosed here the change of concentration of bromine, therefore the value of rate with respect to molarity per second. So now remember one thing, rate of a reaction is directly proportional to concentration of reactant molecule. Therefore rate equal to K into concentration of Br2. Here we consider Br2 as a reactant molecule and K itself a proportionality constant known as the rate constant, and this is a straight line passing through the origin. Now factors that affect the reaction rate constant. Temperature. This is very important part for our daily life. Higher temperature, reactant molecules have more kinetic energy, move faster and collide more often and with greater energy. Collision theory, when two chemicals react, their molecules have to collide with each other in a particular orientation with sufficient energy for the reaction to take place. What is kinetic theory? Increasing temperature means the molecules move faster. As the molecules move faster, their collision become more faster and the reaction rate should be faster. Now concentration of reactants, as the concentration of reactants increases, so thus the likelihood that reactant molecules will collide. Again I am telling you that as the collision increases, rate of the reaction becomes more faster. Catalyst, it can speed up the reactions by lowering activation energy. We will discuss briefly about activation energy and the role of catalyst, which may affect the change in concentration and affect the change in rate of a reaction, whether the reaction rate becomes faster or slower. Surface area of a solid reactant, more area for reactants to be in contact. You know that if a solid reactant molecule become in its powder form, then its surface area obviously increase, therefore rate of the reaction become more faster. And if we increase the pressure of the gaseous reactant or the product, then due to compressibility factor and due to the diffusion, the gas molecules collide with each other, because we know as we increase pressure, volume of that particular gaseous substance becomes decreases, then force of attraction increases, hence gas molecules collide with each other, therefore reaction rate becomes more faster. Now reaction rate, I have drawn over here a plot with respect to time and the specific chemical equation, that is hydrolysis of any alkane to alkyl halide convert into alcohol. Now a plot of concentration versus time for this reaction yields a curve like this. The slope of a line tangent to the curve at any point is the instantaneous rate at that time. Anywhere from the curve we can finding out the instantaneous rate. It means whether the reaction rate proceed at 500 seconds or 600 seconds or 550 seconds, that all. Now concentration, and rate. Each reaction has its own equation that expresses its rate as a function of the concentrations of the involved species, that is reactant, product, catalyst. This is called its rates law. What is rate law? In general, rates of reactions increase as concentrations increase, since there are more collisions occurring between reactant. The overall concentration dependence of reaction rate is given in a rate law or rate expression. For reactions follow simple rate law. V equal to K into concentration of A to the power M, concentration of B to the power N, where A and B reactant concentrations, the exponent M and N reaction order. It means whenever we are going to express rate law, then the stoichiometric coefficient should be present of the power of the concentration of reactant molecule or power of the concentration of the product molecule. Therefore, if we finding out the value M plus N, then we get the overall reaction order of the reaction mechanism. Now, rate laws, rate constants and orders are determined experimentally. Remember one thing, the order of a reactant is not generally related to its stoichiometric coefficient in a balanced chemical equation. We will discuss about this briefly later. Now, simple and complex rates law, there are the few examples here I have expressed. You can see this, that reaction with hydrogen and iodine to form hydroiodic gas, and it's a rate law expression, and reaction between hydrogen and bromine to form HBr and its rates law. Now, elementary reactions always follow simple rate laws. For unimolecular decomposition, A convert into B, due to that reason rate law V equal to K concentration of A. And for bimolecular reaction, it may be two type, A plus B convert into product, therefore K A to the power 1 B to the power 1, because here we consider 1 equal to M as the stoichiometric coefficient of reactant A, and for B that N equal to 1, it is the stoichiometric coefficient of B. Then therefore if we follow the overall rate law reaction or rate law equation, that V equal to K A to the power M B to the power M, then I have just substituted the value of M equal to 1 and N equal to 1, then M plus N equal to 2, then the overall reaction should be the second order rate reaction. Reactant order reflects molecularity, that is of molecules involved in reaction. Here second order, another example of second order, it means A can react with another A molecule to convert into product. So in that case the rate law should be expressed in terms of V equal to K concentration of A square, because again further we consider M equal to 1 and N equal to 1, and after summation we get the order of the overall reaction by using the simple rate laws. Now here I explained a few rate law example. You can check this, and from this example you can easily say that whether the reaction is first order or second order or not, or the zero order. Now concentration and rate, I explain here that the overall rate law equation on the basis of concentration for the previous example. So here is the conclusion, that exponents tell the order of the reaction with respect to each reactant. Now for the previous reaction, the first order in NH4 plus and second order for NO2 minus. So the overall reaction order can be found by adding the exponent on the reactants in the rate law. So after adding of this, we can easily say that the previous reaction is second order type of reaction. Remember one thing, K is unique for each reaction. K changes with temperature. Now here I summed up some summary of integrated rate laws, that different type of reaction on the basis of that the order and its differential form and its integrated form, that for zeroth order, for first order, for second order, and for the second order type of reactions. Now we have in this graph, in this tabular form, you can finding out if their differential form as well as their integrated form. Now order of reactions. A reaction is zero order in a reactant if the change in concentration of that reactant produces no effect. A reaction is first order if doubling the concentration causes the rate to double, and a reaction is second order if doubling the concentration causes a quadruple increase in rate. So by this way we can finding out the third order doubling concentration leads to 2 to the power 3 or 8 times the rate. Now here again this is the explanation, overall summary of the differential form and integrated form of our zeroth order, first order, second order, two types of second order reactions. Now first order process. For first order reaction, here is the integrated form, that is ln concentration of A with respect to B that equal to minus Kt plus ln K0. Now here A equal to concentration of A after some time T, K equal to reaction rate constant in units of per second, T equal to time in second, and K0 equal to initial concentration of A. So now this equation has the general form for a straight line y equal to mx plus b. So a plot of ln A versus t is a straight line having a negative slope and intercept should be ln A0. This is the overall first order reaction rate law expression with its graphical form. Now here is the example, that consider the process in which methyl isonitrile is converted to acetonitrile. So question arises in our mind that how do we know this is a first order reaction? Here is the explanation. From this data was collected for this reaction at 198.9 degrees centigrade. Now rate of formation of methyl isocyanate for all time intervals. Then by applying the first order process, ln A concentration of At that equal to minus Kt plus ln concentration of K0. Then if we plot ln concentration of K2 versus T, will yield a straight line with a slope of minus K. See, this is the first order process, that the slope of a straight line having a slope, it is minus and that equal to minus K. So by applying this experimental value, we just prove yes, the formation of methyl isocyanate is follow always a first order type of reaction. Now here I again show you some graphical representation and mathematical formulation of second order reaction rate. Now half-life. Half-life is the time taken for the concentration of a reactant to drop to half its original value. Now for zero order reaction, the value should be concentration of K0 by 2K. For first order reaction, we may easily finding out the value of T half, and for the second order reaction, and here is the graph which I have drawn for three types of reaction. Now for first order, we know the formula ln A concentration of A that equal to ln concentration of A0 minus Kt. Now if we consider for the half-life, then obviously the concentration of A should be 0.5 concentration of A0. So now after calculating this, we get the half-life time period of a first order reaction, that is T half equal to 0.693 divided by K. And here is the some graphical representation.
for a first order process, the half life does not depend on concentration of A0. It means initial concentration of the reactant molecule, and different type of mathematical explanations are given over here. So now half life for the second order reaction, by using the formula rate law equation of second order reaction and the integrated form of second order reaction, after putting 0.5 A is concentration of A0, then you get the value of T half with respect to the change in concentration of A0 and the rate constant K. Therefore, for the half lifetime period of a second order reaction, it's nothing but T half equal to 1 by K concentration of A0. So here is the summary of the kinetics of zero order, first order and second order reactions. Here by this tabular form you can get the concentration time equation for zero order reaction, then integrated concentration time equation for first order reaction and the second order reaction, and the half lifetime period for three different type of reactions, that if the reaction rate proceed for zero order, for first order, for second order. Now here is the overall summary of the kinetics. It means for the first order rate laws, they are integrated form and half lifetime period. For second order, it rate laws, integrated laws and half lifetime period, and for general second order. So by this today I explain overall rate equations, rate law and zero order, first order and second order type of reaction rate changes with respect to time and the half lifetime period of these three reactions. So till now, thank you, bye.